Greetings and salutations, comic book conversationalists. This is Comic Book Hangover. My name is Scott, and here we are in the month of March with a long overdue weekly haul video. So this is just going to be a weekly haul video this week. So we got a lot of books. So it's been a while since I've done a video. My dad, he was doing good, and he took a turn for the worst. And I'm not even sure I should be doing this video right now because it's still kind of fresh, it's still kind of new. But a week ago, this past Monday, my father passed away, which is the reason why I didn't do a video last week. Still not sure if doing a video is an appropriate thing to do, but it's with everything that's going on now because of his passing, all of the fallout and the drama and the unnecessary nonsense that's going on. I think these videos are going to be a sense of normalcy that I need to have in my life right now. So, I mean, we've got, more situations. It's almost like, trying to secure a home for the family, for my family, is one of the most damn near impossible things to do. But, we still gonna power through, and, hopefully this time we will land on our feet, and it'll be this is the last leg of the struggle to get a home. Unfortunately, it's at the cost of my dad, but I take solace in the knowledge that he is no longer suffering. But that said, let's try to lighten the mood a little bit, because I've got a stack of books here. Even without doing reviews on these, this is going to be a pretty lengthy video because I'm probably going to be talking about some of these. I think they're in some kind of an order. At least most of them are. The books that I picked up this week are not really going to be in any kind of an order, but everything else is going to be some kind of an order. So we're going to start off with DC, and just DC, I guess. Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong, number 5. I know number 6 is out next week, but this is issue 5. I'm only trying to pick up the covers where Godzilla is more prominently featured than any of their characters. I also got the second print of issue 2. It's the same cover as the first print. The only difference is like Superman and Batman are colored like everything else. Originally, I think they had their regular coloring. But I like the way this one looked. This has a really cool cover to it. That's also a really fun series. We got what? Issue 5, I think, is the next one that's out. So we got 5, 6, and 7. So 3 more issues to finish the run. Some facsimile editions here. Green Arrow, which one is this? Number 87. And this is the, let's see, my mind is still off here. It's the first appearance of John Stewart, if my memory serves. I love these facsimile editions. And of course, with DC facsimile editions, pretty much the only way, looking at the front cover, to know that you're getting a facsimile is if you look at the cover price there. This book was not a $4.99 cover price originally, so that's the one way. The other way you could tell is if you look at the back, you're going to have the modern era DC logo, and the UPC will be on the back. So that's how you do DCs. Over on the other side, we have Marvel. I have Uncanny X-Men 268. This is actually the third version of this one that I have. I have the first print of it, of course. There's also a second printing that Marvel put out for this one. And the second printing I was able to get years and years and years and years and years ago, like back in the 90s. J.C. Penney would have this winter catalog, this holiday catalog, sort of like the Sears Christmas catalog. And they offered 1 year, for like so much money, you can get a stack of like Marvel comics. And my dad got me these books. And one of them was this book here, but it was the second printing. And I never knew it was a second printing until I got my hands on another copy of it. It was in a stack of books I had picked up from somebody. And I noticed that the color on the X-Men logo the undercolor there was different. So I kind of looked into it and realized the one that I had originally was a second printing. So this is going to be, I guess you could say, the third printing for it. I don't think they did this as a True Believers $1 reprint, but I always kind of like that cover. So that cover is cool. And of course, with Marvel facsimile editions, the 3 ways that you can tell that they are facsimiles, of course, the price. You can't deny that. It's always, I still don't understand why it's $4.99 for a reprint, whatever. But anyway, you got the price there. Your UPC box on these ones are going to be thinner, and they're going to hug the edge. So if it's this way, it's going to hug the spine and the bottom. If it goes along the bottom, it's going to hug the bottom and a little bit of the spine. But these ones are going to be thinner than the UPCs used to be back in the day. And the last way to tell is they always slap on the modern era Marvel logo, which it's not too bad. It's small. It doesn't really take up, it does not take up much space at all, and it doesn't intrude on the iconic art of the cover. Also, facsimile edition, Marvel Superhero Secret Wars, issue 2 of 12. There you go. I'm digging these facsimiles. I've got the original for that one as well. And another one that I have the original for is Amazing Spider-Man 253. First appearance of Rose. I guess it was part of a bigger storyline. I do enjoy getting these facsimile editions. I love getting these, even though I have the original of this one. I still grab the facsimile because I love getting these things. I wish Marvel would do different books. They used to. It seems like they used to do just a wide variety of stuff, and they just kind of narrowed it down to like this one here. You've got these are coming out. They're doing a year's worth of Amazing Spider-Man to go along with the Marvel Superhero Secret Wars reprint that they're doing all 12 issues of, which is really cool. And I guess DC is going to be doing Crisis on Infinite Earths as a reprint, facsimile reprint series, which is awesome because I don't think I've ever read that. So it'll be a chance for me to read that as a monthly release book. So I'm super excited about that. But I kind of wish Marvel would do stuff like Marvel Spotlight number 5, first appearance of Ghost Rider, so I can actually have that first appearance of Ghost Rider, because I don't think I'm ever going to be able to afford an original. Moving on, still with Marvel here, Spider-Punk Arms Race. Now, this one came out with a variety of covers, and took me a second to figure out which cover I wanted. And I finally went with this one here, because it's very much, it very much to me represents the character of Spider-Punk, number one, but also it has a very 90s feel to it. I mean, that feels like a cover that would have come out in the 90s, because there's a whole hell of a lot of stuff going on in this cover. Plus, with the UPC box there with a picture in it, that's what they used to do back in the day. So Spider-Punk, great book too. They kept the original. They kept the same creative team that they had on the previous one, so it's got that same feel to it, and I'm really still very much enjoying it. I grabbed Thundercats number 1, the Rob Liefeld cover, because what the hell, why not? It's not often. He's one of the few artists that really doesn't do a whole lot of other books, it seems. He sticks with a certain number of titles. So even when I picked this up, I mentioned I was going to pick it up, my LCS, they said that, well, we saw the Rob Liefeld cover, and I was like, okay, I'll grab that. They thought I was joking until I actually brought it up to the counter. Next up, we have Transformers number 5, still an amazing series, and I love this cover. This is such a cool cover. So Transformers number 5, Duke number 3 of 5, a great series. Finally got the Baroness in there, getting a little bit of in this issue, we did get a bit of a backstory of the Baroness, so it's really, really cool. Sticking with the Energon universe, I grabbed the second print of Cobra Commander number 1, because it's Cobra Commander. I always like that character. I like this version of him even more. Sticking with Cobra Commander, got issue 2 of 5. I picked up variant cover because just, I don't know, there's just something about this swamp helmet cover that just called to me, and I just had to have it. Power Rangers Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 117, which I think is the last one of these that I'm picking up, because I was only getting these Power Rangers zombie variants, and I think they got them all, so this might be the last one there. Elvira meets H.P. Lovecraft number 1. I'm still getting. I had to do a special request or whatever for the photo variant, because by the time I got down to my LCS, this one was gone. The photo variant was gone. And speaking of hot chicks in comics, Sweetie Candy Vigilante is back. Volume 2, number 1, another amazing cover. Still a great series. I was really legitimately concerned that I would have lost interest in this series because of the hiatus that it went on. Usually when a book goes on hiatus, I lose interest in it. I was big into Something is Killing the Children. Then it went on a long hiatus, lost interest in it. So I dropped it. I actually wound up selling off all my books. I picked up that big hardcover they put out. They had like the first 15, 16, 17 issues in it or whatever. I picked that up and I figured, you know what? I'll just get those because I really don't need the series every month when they decide to put it out. And House of Slaughter, I don't know, House of Slaughter was too much of a pandering book for me. And they spent more interest, they've spent more time talking about what the main character was as opposed to who the main character is. And I really don't care about all that other nonsense. I just want the action. I want the fighting. I want the monsters. I want better story than just pandering nonsense. But you don't get any of that in here. You get some fun, candy-themed, chaotic nonsense and violence. I love it. Godzilla Rivals, Mothra versus Mogira. I love these things. I think they're kind of getting a loose continuity within these. But it is kind of weird to be reading these Godzilla Rivals books and Godzilla's not in it. But flip side of that, it's nice to have some other monsters get in the spotlight for a change without having to figure out a way to work them into a Godzilla storyline. So really good. This week's picks, I think these are all this week's picks. Fables 162, the second final issue of the series. Also the last Fables book that I'm going to be picking up. So setting this out there right now, if DC ever decides to do a Fables book from here on in, and Bill Willingham is not a part of it, which he won't be, it will not be on my pull list. I have every single issue of Fables, Jack of Fables, Fairest, Ever After, all the miniseries, Cinderella. I got the crossover with the literals and whatever that other book is that they crossover. I got all that stuff. Numerous, every time they put out a reprint or a second print or anything like that, I pick those up as well. Huge Fables fan. But as of this issue, no more of it for me unless Bill Willingham is involved. And if he's involved, as long as he says, hey, it's okay to read this one, we worked it out, everything is fine. But if he doesn't do that and he's not on this book, I'm not buying Fables anymore, which is going to break my heart. But I gotta have some kind of principles with something, I guess. Marvel Superhero Secret Wars issue 3 of 12. Loving these. I did grab the variant cover for Fables 162 final issue. Series ended on a great note too. I really like how they wrapped it up. They did this sort of the same thing they did with issue 150. They wrapped it up real nicely, saying we're done here, but we could come back for more. But unfortunately, we're never coming back. The one book that was a huge surprise to me, I didn't realize this was even a thing until I do the final order cutoff post for my LCS's Facebook page, which is Nostalgia Inc. in downtown Jackson, Michigan. I don't know if I've ever actually said that before, but I do previews, which means on Mondays and Tuesdays I do posts of a selection of books, do the solicitations for books that are coming out that week. On Saturdays, time permitting, I like to do FOCs, final order cutoff. Say here's the books that are coming out. This is when that's coming out. You have until Monday to place your orders with Nostalgia in order to get these books. This is one that I did not even know was coming out, and this is from DC and Sergio, blah, 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 blah. Batman, Dylan Dog. I love Dylan Dog. My introduction to Dylan Dog was through the movie. And even though the movie was not the best representation of the character, it kind of cracked the door open a little bit so I could see this awesome character of Dylan Dog. And then Dark Horse did that. They had that thick reprint volume of early Dylan Dog stuff. And I've read that and loved the hell out of it. Even though it was way different than the movie, totally different than what I was familiar with from the movie, but I loved it. And it's really unfortunate that there's not a lot of Dylan Dog stuff that I've been able to find that's translated into English that's available here in the States. But when I found out about this, I was like, oh, hell yeah, I'm getting this. I cannot not get this. What I didn't realize was how damn thick this book is. This is a thick damn book. And I'm loving it. I only got about halfway through it, and it is so much fun. Moving on, we got Symbiote Spider-Man 2099 number 1. I think this is a regular cover. And yeah, this is a regular cover for this one. Another great read. Enjoying it. And the last comic book I picked up Transformers number 6. Still, this is still one of those books that every issue blows the previous issue out of the water, and we're 7 issues in, and we still haven't found the ceiling for this. And I'm loving it. I think this is great. The covers are awesome. The art is awesome. There's a panel in here where Prime is charging in the battle, and in the background, it scribbles. You say it says something like, "You know the song." It's like, oh yeah. Anytime we have Prime charging in the battle, we know a song plays in our head, us G1 fans. But there you go. Transformers number 7. No, I'm sorry, that's number 6. I don't know why I said number 7. That's number 6. I grabbed a couple of trades last month. I've got Weird Science, EC Archives Weird Science Volume 3. Continuing my EC Comics collection. I love this. This collects Weird Science issues 13 through 18. And as always, just some beautiful coloring, beautiful artwork. You simply cannot go wrong with EC Comics. And also EC Archives, The Vault of Horror, number 4, with one of the juiciest covers. This reprints The Vault of Horror, number 30 through 35. So I think there's only going to be one more volume of this. Most of these, since we're doing 6 issues each, I think most of these are going to only have about 5 volumes each. So another one that has some great artwork in it by some of the best artists in comics history and some of the best writers in comics history. These are great books. I've also told my son, because he's struggling with reading. He can read. He's a real good reader. He just doesn't like to do it. But he's getting into stuff like I've shown him the Blob, the original Blob. He loves that. He loves Killer Clowns from Outer Space. He loves the Blob 88. I picked that up on 4K. The 1982 John Carpenter's The Thing. He loves that. He liked the Die Hard movies. He likes the old school stuff. So I was telling him, it's like, you can read these as long as you take care of them. I don't mind if you read these old EC books, because even though each story is only 6 issues long or 6 pages long, they're written so well that they feel like they're full length stories, and they're just amazing. They're awesome. So there you go. Those are all the books that I picked up. I'm not really going to do, because of all the books I have, I'm not going to do a cover of the week. But I'm hoping that I can get back into this regularly on a weekly basis again. I think it'll be kind of therapeutic, and it'll help me to kind of get away from everything. I mean, I'm trying to not have too many moments where I'm breaking down in front of the kids, because I want them to know that it's okay to mourn, it's okay to be sad. But on the same token, I feel like I need to be able to be there if they need me. And I'll have my moments when they're in bed or when I'm home alone or whatever. I'll have my moments. Trust me on that. I'm not gonna hold it in for the sake of being macho or anything. I did that before, and it almost didn't end very well for me. So I don't do that anymore. But basically, I need to be strong for the family. I got to be strong for other reasons, which as time goes on, I probably will share some of that as well. But that said, I know I did a post explaining why I didn't do a video last week, and I did have some responses to it. And I do appreciate everybody who sent their condolences and their well wishes. It did help. It was really nice. It was really awesome of you guys. The internet comics community, despite all the bickering and infighting, it's an amazing community, and we are very quick to put all the divisive nonsense aside, when it comes time to where we need to support one another. So I appreciate that. But that said, I'm going to wrap this up. As always, please like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Thank you for your continued support. Thank you for your understanding. If I go a week or two for, maybe like the next month or two, I don't know. There's no way to the time limit on this sort of thing. So I'm going to do the best I can to make sure my videos get put out on a regular basis from here on in. So that said, again, thanks everybody for your support. Thanks for watching. At least like the video, I would appreciate that. I want to get more likes on these videos as we go on. And, definitely check out my TikTok. I'm always putting something on up over there. Actually, I just put a video, the first video in like a month that I put up there. So, but again, thanks for watching. I will see everybody very soon with another weekly haul video. Have a good one.